Should I put that in there? No, I'm gonna put that in.
You really count me in? You count me in on this?
Oh no! Wait, are you doing? You thought you said, oh, you were going to do this first one. I thought I had to do this first one. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Never
You're
mind.
counting yourself down.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. This is what we go through on The End Is.
No, this can't be it. Sigh. This can't be real Sigh. This can't be
that's
it.
a great opening. That's a great opening. That is. Oh, I love it. Yeah, we're gonna start with that. I'm Nate.
I'm Todd. I'm
the
one that got caught with his pants
this.
down.
He hates this so much right now.
I do. Well, now I'm all thrown off. My groove is gone. I went from thinking I was doing it to not doing it to being bamboozled by doing it. Yeah, welcome. You know what? Just barrel through. Welcome to the pod, everybody. This is where we talk about movies, sometimes underrated, sometimes overrated, sometimes perfectly rated. And then the next week, we will talk about the themes that Nate and I found within them. We'll do some research so you don't have to, and we'll talk about them, yeah. But otherwise, then we just kind of BS and, help you make meaning out of the meantime. In the meantime.
It's a lot of meantime.
It is meantime.
Do you have a lot of me time? Yeah, I was going to say me time.
I do have a lot of me time. When you're a single dude at a ripe age, there's a lot of me time. Right? There's too much, they might say. It's too much.
Yeah, luckily we get a good insider baseball of what me time is with Todd.
Oh, yeah. Like, am I supposed to update you? Am I just supposed to look around my room and update you what me time looks like?
Yeah, we could do that in a bit. But what movie are we doing this week?
Great question. I thought for a minute that our show had evolved, but turns out this week we are doing 2001's Evolution, so the jury is still out.
I think Todd really hates Nate picks. That's what he's getting at here.
Hate is a strong word. Apparently I learned through my older brother that this is one of my mother's favorite movies, so she will be thrilled. She won't be thrilled that I'm discussing it, but she will be thrilled to know that her movie is being featured.
You know what? Fight him. Fight him on this.
She will. But no, we'll get to it later. We get all my thoughts later, but I did not hate the movie. Love is also a strong word.
He is crawling in his skin over there. If you guys could see what he's doing right now. Just
a guy at a ripe age, single by himself, watching Evolution, taking notes on his laptop. That's it.
Well, besides watching Evolution by yourself, making notes on your laptop, what else have you been up to in the meantime?
Well, I don't know if you're leading into this, but you and I got to hang out a few times over the past couple weeks here, and that was lovely. We did a number of activities. We went to a Roosevelt's, the overshirt t-shirt company. How would you describe that? They're like, they have all the
clothing
IPs.
Brand.
They've got all the, it's just, but it's mostly just the overshirts they're known for, like the button-up, flowy, almost Hawaiian shirts. We went to a meetup, so that company's big enough that sectors have broken off, and so we met at a 1UP with some friends of mine, some longtime friends of mine, which was really cool. Nate, tell me about that. Tell me about getting to 1UP and how that all shook out, and that, because I think that's an interesting one that not a lot of people experience.
I mean, it wasn't that interesting. It was just more of well, here's the thing. We're going down to Denver. We also have a show that night. Some other friends from where I live were also going to that show, but they weren't going to the meetup. So Todd's old-time friends, I was like, hey, would it be weird if I got a ride with them down there and then a ride with the other friends that live in the area on the way back after the show? And so
it was more of the, hey, friend, I've got a question. This dude you've never met, can he meet you and drive for over an hour down to Denver with you and your wife? It's but these guys are cool. My friends are really cool. And he's like, yeah, sure. And I was like, I promise he's not a killer. And he's like, okay, great, good to know. And then, basically made Nate buy beers, all that good stuff. But it's always interesting. It's when two friend groups have never met each other, really, and then finally this meets, but the first meeting is like, hey, you might have heard his name before, but can this dude drive down with you? Like,
Right.
Can you? I called you the human drug mule, but you're the drug, and they're the humans. But
Now, would you accept that offer if someone's like,
no,
hey,
not in a million fucking years.
that's
No.
what I figured.
No, I would not. That amount of small talk in a confined space for that? No, absolutely not.
What about a half hour?
No, none of that. More props to you, though. I mean, props to you and everyone that was involved, because everybody was cool to do it. And I was just like, I'm going to facilitate this. I'm not happy about it, not mad about it, but I was like, I wouldn't do it myself. But if they're willing to do it, go, more power to you. So, but it all worked out.
All right. Yeah, it did. It was smooth sailing.
Yeah, and then we played some games, played some pinball, which I am disastrous at, but
I don't think pinball is such a hard one because it's either A, it goes straight down the middle, and you're like, cool,
Yeah.
that's great, can't fucking do shit about that, or it goes on the side parts that shouldn't exist whatsoever.
yeah, let's shoot it down.
The side parts didn't exist, then I would be okay with it going straight down the middle from time to time. But when those side parts and it bounces and ricochets and goes right there, you're like, I can't fucking do anything about this.
Yeah, I'd be curious. We need to get a pinball expert on here, because how do they avoid that? How do they avoid it happening? I mean, they have to have some sort of strategy to make sure it doesn't, without tilting, without moving the machine itself, like a legit pinball player that is like cracking scores, right? And then probably cracking cheeks because they're so good at it. But like, I just can't imagine like how they stop it from going from the sides. I have to look at Nate's response sometimes when I make lines to see his disappointment register for a little bit.
Yeah. Cracking cheeks, guys, all right? We're just out here vibing miles and cracking cheeks. It's great.
Dude, I wish. Mom, turn off the pod. But anyway, I'd be curious, because they have to be really good at ensuring they don't hit those side cheap spots, right? The ones that are basically designed for the pinball manufacturers to not lose a ton of money on those machines and to draw out more quarters. But this podcast is not about that. At least maybe not until we watch a movie that has pinball. Then maybe Nate can dive in.
Okay, so Willy's Wonderland. Okay, all right, we'll put that on the list.
Oh, is that the Nick Cage one?
Yeah.
Okay, I've never seen that, so I didn't know it had pinball in it. But I guess he runs an arcade, right?
Yeah.
Is he like silent through most of that?
Yep.
Is that one? Okay. I love a good weird Nick Cage movie. Like Pig was really good, but it's like their movies are out of the fucking world that Nick Cage just drives in anything, and I think that makes for a fun experience every time you go to one of his things. So
yeah, not sure where you're gonna get.
Yeah, but back to it. So we did that. Then we went to a show at the theater here in Denver. The show that you drove back with the other friends from, which was Ben Schwartz and Friends. Now, how does that show live up to your expectations, or does it not?
It was good. I think it's hard because the last improv show we went to, I enjoyed a lot more.
It set the bar so high.
And this one, there was still plenty of laughs.
Yeah.
And it was just more, I guess, long format improv rather than the quick short bits where
it took a lot more
patience, the scene going, and you could definitely tell with this it was a lot of the gestures of tapping in of like, okay, let me change a scene here, okay, we're going to go into this scene now and follow my lead instead of the quick prompt. All right, you got 5 minutes, what can you get in 5 minutes?
Yeah, it's a much different experience. Like, again, to your point, it was a good show. Love Ben Schwartz. Love everybody that was on there. Lauren Lapkus was that one. Super great crowd. I think they improv off of a question or a scenario brought on by an audience member story, and basically they do two of those. So the first one really got overtaken by the lady's story, which was really good, but that almost overshadowed the actual improv, just how crazy it was. And I think they felt that too. Like, it's great clickbait and stuff, even though he was upset he didn't get to record this, which I understand why. But yeah, the long improv is so much different because it's not like everybody on stage is doing one task and trying to get one thing done. During the long improv, they're cutting off scenes that you're like, oh, that's getting really funny. Oh, they changed it. Somebody wanted to change it. And you're like, damn, I wanted to see where that was going. Yeah. Right? They don't give a chance. Like, everybody's trying to get, I don't know, stage time. right, of the 4. And so you're like, oh, how do I get involved in this? And so if the scenario doesn't include more than 2 people, there's 2 people trying to be like, how do I do this? But they have to like almost completely derail the momentum to change it, which there was some phenomenal scenes. There's a scene of a brain or bacteria skin eating whatever amoeba or whatever that was taken over during 911 calls. Phenomenal. I was laughing my ass off.
That was probably the best scene that they had in the entire thing.
Yeah.
And then also the audience in this was much better than the audience in the other show.
Yes. Yeah,
because it wasn't like, hey, we have 100 different ideas coming from everyone else. It's just like, all right, we're going to ask you, read a sentence of what your story is. And if we want more, we'll ask more. If not, we're going to move on to the next person. But the first person they went to is where they hit the gold mine because everything came from that person.
Absolutely. And then, and then they take the break, then they do a second one. And that one, Ben Schwartz is good about being like, nope, not doing that one. All right, next one. Nope. Next, that's somebody else. Like when it's like obvious trying to get a reaction out of them. Like I think one involved an animal death and you're like, what are you doing? But not even like in like a sad way, just in like a weird way. And you're like, he's like, no, we're moving on. And luckily, I mean, some of the performers kept doing callbacks to even just the quick ideas people had just to make sure that they were used. But yeah, he's pretty good at like running the show for sure. But
yeah. So yeah, no, definitely an overall great show still.
Yeah. Anything else in the meantime that I haven't covered?
I mean, I feel like a lot has happened. I went camping. That was exciting. Enjoyed that.
Now, camping, my favorite pastime activity.
That's a lie. Sarcasm.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Glad you still have that. No,
God.
It was
my
the
sarcasm's
annual camping
dead.
trip.
I'm dead too. Sorry. Repeat that.
It was the annual camping trip that my parents do with their entire neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty much we have like our usual stuff that we do. So one night we're up there. It's Ultimate Werewolf. And so I'm the one running that. So I had 23 people playing in that one. And
is that your biggest group?
I think that has been my biggest group so far.
That's a lot of people to coordinate. Especially if there's alcohol and like the feel of freedom out in the woods.
It is. Going on. The amount of alcohol, it's just like they have like, oh, here's some Jello shots. Here's some moonshine. Here's some whiskey.
Moonshine.
Here's a mixed drink. Here's a Colorado tea, they call it. It's just so much alcohol up there.
Moonshine.
Yeah.
Were there banjos?
No banjos around the fire.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the other thing we usually do while we're up there is the Olympics, where it's pretty much your basic like yard games of there's cornhole, there's ladder ball, there's can jam, there's axe throwing, there's
what is can jam?
Can jam is you have like a cylinder tube.
Oh, I think I saw this video on early internet.
Yeah. You throw a frisbee and your teammate is at the other end, where they try to slap the frisbee onto the top, like into the cylinder from the top, or there's a small slit in the front of the cylinder that just barely fits the frisbee. And if you throw it in there, you automatically win the game. It's like the golden snitch.
Okay.
So, and
I think I've played versions of this in a backyard once.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think like, when you're trying to basically deflect, but also there's one that involves like knocking a bottle off of a pole with like a frisbee.
Yeah.
And there's defenders and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like you catch the bottle, then it's like extra points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The way they set it up is pair everybody in teams of 2 and you draw from a hat. It's completely random and you can't be stuck with your significant other or spouse just because they want to make sure everyone has different teams every year and it's just not the same person.
No collusion either. Okay.
Yeah. And
would it be better if your significant other was on the other side because then they could technically help you? But if they were really good at it?
Well, yeah, that'd be your teammate is on the other side.
Oh, because you're trying to help. This one is where you're trying to slap it in, like you're trying to help them do it. Right, I'm still thinking about the bottle one. All right, carry on. Don't worry about me.
So yeah, we had 13 teams and everyone drew the names out of the hat and I drew my name and they were like, really? I get stuck with you? This is great. We're going to lose for sure. It's my niece. I was like, damn.
Got the attitude.
Yeah. So one of the first games we played was the Can Jam. And we were losing 19-8. And the goal is to get to 21 points. And I was able to get it through the small slit on the front, automatic win. And I was like, yeah, now what? Now what, niece, huh?
This is like Nate's bullying his family members like on Easter, remember, with the egg hunts? This is when Nate gets involved in like a family game. This is where the roids show up. He starts juicing.
No, it's just nice because I'm like, yeah, well, we won because of me. So you know what?
Yeah.
Suck it. No.
Why were you guys doing so bad?
Huh?
Like you said, 19-8. I mean, that's pretty bad.
I mean, all right, we'll just go there. It's a 10-year-old throwing a frisbee.
Okay,
like,
so wow, he threw under the bus. I thought he might fall on his own petard.
No.
He might say, "I was
That's
just
like
not feeling it. I was drunk as hell."
It was 20 yards away.
That's fair. You started with like a golf handicap, and you still did it.
Yeah. So yeah, but overall, it was still good. The team that won, one of the people on the team, she has won 6 years in a row. Doesn't matter what teammate she's with, she has won 6 years in a row.
And you're not like reviewing her tapes with the team?
I mean, everyone's watching it though. It's one of those things like it's all random. It's all a bracket system. Everyone plays. They set up for seeding and all that. And then after the seeding, you go into a single elimination bracket. And then it's just from there.
Like, she's so. No, I don't mean like watching her tapes like she's cheating. You know, like when teams go to review their competitors. Like, how is she so good? Like, what is the difference? Is she just really athletic? Is she good at like getting it through that space to get the extra points or win it? Like, is she just overall like?
It's so hard to say because it's not even the same game every year. It's not always Can Jam. Sometimes it's cornhole they play for the championship game. Sometimes it's
good for them.
Like a hacky sack toss thing that they play. It's all over the place.
So she's just a rock star.
Yep.
And so they won this year.
Yeah.
Next time, what you do is you send your niece in there to do a little Nancy Kerrigan, Tanya Harding action. Okay. You take out a kneecap early. You are victory bound, bud.
Damn. Todd's going straight for the knees.
You got to. After 6 years, something's up. There's collusion. I'm going to start betting on that. What is it? That site that lets you put on everything now. We're going to bet on your yearly trip up to the woods.
That would be great, honestly. Get random campsites that aren't even part of us. Hey, you guys want to place bets on this?
Oh, no. Yeah, gambling's already bad, and that thing is like so ridiculous where you can bet on just everything, and sometimes it's like insider trading-ish, right? So I don't approve of gambling, but I would gamble. I do approve of gambling on Nate's camping trip.
Yeah, that's all I got.
All right. Well, let's jump into a little segment that I like to call, and you like to call, News for Nate 2 weeks late.
Okay. What have I missed?
Nate, this one you definitely know. It is. If you even know what a video game is, you know the biggest news of the week, and that is that Sony is ending disc production on all new PlayStation games from 2028 onward.
Yep.
Thoughts? I know you've got thoughts on this.
You know, it's just one of those things. It's weird because you don't own the game. It sucks.
Nope.
There's no way around it. And when you get older, maybe you do get that free time and you want to pop in an old game. You can't. And that's where I think they start doing the remastered stuff more often because they can sell that for a profit. They could shut down the services on one of the other ones. I think California, they tried passing a law recently where you can play your games offline or something like that is what it was. I can't remember what law it was exactly, but it was something with the video games though, where you would be able, like if you bought the physical media, you're able to play it without having to connect to the internet or anything like that. And that didn't pass. So
how would that work? Just like pre-downloading everything before you get the internet connectivity, or you just don't have to play for an online service like Game Pass and stuff is basically maybe what that is?
Something like that, but I didn't get a chance to look at it. It was right before we started recording, so don't have all the logistics on that.
Okay. This could have been news for Todd. Wow, that's odd. Because I'm like, on top of the news. That's my new slogan.
He got the rhyme.
I was paying attention to everything you were saying. I swear, I wasn't trying to think of a rhyme. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised that it's California trying to set that bar of being able to still own your stuff. They try to be the leader in like autonomy, where you think it would be Texas and the freedom stuff states, right? But it's like California's like, hey man, the consumers should have all the protection laws. They're almost like the Europe, the GDPR and stuff. They're like, these are privacy laws, and we're trying to enforce them as well to make sure that people, can live their goddamn lives and use the things that they purchase. So kudos to them. Hopefully, maybe next time we won't, guys. We won't next week. We won't have any information on this, but but maybe in the future we'll have information on that. What I thought that it's very hypocritical for Sony to do that. Overall, it's bad for the company and bad for consumers. There's no doubt that. But PlayStation, in one of their but like when Xbox was going digital only with all of their stuff and saying you have to be online, PlayStation made that video that is remaking its rounds, where I think it was the CEO and president are doing it. They pop up on screen. They go, "Hey, how to share a disc on with PlayStation on Sony," and it shows them standing there, and he hands the disc to him. It's like step 1 done.
Yep.
They made like a joke that, hey, you get to share your disc with your friends, and then everybody's like, well, now you can't. It's like, now that doesn't age well, because now you're going the direction that Microsoft did, and Microsoft's going to go all digital. Everybody's like, it would be great if they just made the video against them, but it's like Microsoft started this trend, so it's just everybody bending the knee to do this. So that's
Well, also the other thing too is if they go digital, shouldn't there be a big cut in cost in a sense? Because all of a sudden, as sad as it is to say, you don't have that labor force that has to create the discs or the cases production or any of that stuff.
It's gone.
So that's all a cost that is cut out. But sadly, I feel like games are just going to go up in price.
Yeah. No, I saw a lot of people asking about that. They're like, yeah, won't we get significant discounts now if you're not having to produce all these physical discs and the artwork and the printing and the packaging and the shipping, right? Isn't that all gone? What do you do with all those costs? You're probably passing them on to the... Oh, no. Because capitalism fucking sucks.
Well, then, even then, like, they always try to get more out of the collector's editions and stuff like that.
Right.
Who wants to buy that then? Because it's like, oh, well, it doesn't come with a disc. It's just whatever statue. It's just, you're buying a piece of memorabilia from the game, not an actual
it's
like
just
collector's
merch.
Edition feel. Yeah.
No. It's not good. I mean, the last like bastion of hope on this, and it's not really hope, but it's just kind of a nice little silver lining, is that the new Wolverine game came out and was like, we are going to include a disc. They made a point to be like, we're sending a disc out with this. So you're going to see some publishers towards the end here release physical discs.
Yeah, but that's always crazy too, because Insomniac is a PlayStation-owned company, and they're like, yeah, we're going to have the disc, and now it's like, well, we're not really going to have a disc possibly anymore because Sony says no.
Yeah, it's like, we'll produce it for the next couple years, right? And then after that, we can't then recreate the discs. I assume, how does that work? I don't know.
If they're going discless by 2028, does that mean we're expecting the PlayStation 7 in 2028?
Probably the discless one, because the Xbox is coming out as like discless, right?
Yeah.
Potentially the next one. And so everybody's like, yeah, might as well just go to Steam. And then, but all the RAM is out the ass expensive, so you can't get a Steam Deck, you can't do Steam Machine, everything. What a time to be alive for hobbyists of video games. Let's see. Well, moving on from games. Okay, let's go to Nate. Let's talk about quickly talk about the reflecting pool. So I think we mentioned this on the last one. Or did we? I don't even remember. Did we talk about it? Sometimes Nate and I talk in person, and it feels like we talked about it on the pod. But to recap, Trump says you can't slice the reflecting pool with a knife. It's so tough you can't do that. Very next thing, somebody sliced it with a knife.
It was a 250 or 300 foot slit that they did. Yeah, how do you cut a pool for like 250 to 300 feet?
You don't. But
okay.
in the meantime, they did. So the news as of when we're getting this, we'll find out much more by the time we record next time, that they've arrested like an Olympic athlete and they're charging him with having cut the slit in the pool. We're saying slit too much in this episode. I will tell you that right now.
Yeah.
It's like moist panties. All right, moving on. For anybody that is freaking out at those words.
Oh, man. Fucking vibing miles. Splitting cracks.
Cracking cheeks. Splitting
cracking
cracks.
cheeks.
I mean, potato, I guess. But anyway, back to the reflecting pool. So they've arrested somebody. There's no proof as far as anybody can see yet. Where are the cameras, et cetera, et cetera. But they were arresting people just for touching the water, and the National Guard is patrolling it. They fenced it in, which is crazy. There's like those big machines that yell at you if you touch the water. And so, like, dude, it's the National Mall. I remember walking around there when I went to DC a number of years ago. Just fine walking around, but now it's like you can't even get near the water because you might get arrested for touching something that all of our taxpayer dollars have gone towards. Like, this is our land, right? Isn't that the whole thing? But they're arresting they're arresting more people and keeping them accountable for protests and the reflecting pool than they are for the January 6th stuff. They've actually released them, who have turned out to be repeat offenders, and it's all backwards. But
yeah,
we will quickly move on from that. I have a little note in here. Conor McGregor, the confused abuser and near murderer, is getting hyped for UFC. Jimmy Fallon hosted him on his late night show. This dude that's been accused and found, I think he was found guilty. I don't know. We'll all say allegedly just for, the law, but he's a piece of shit. Everybody knows it. But now Jimmy Fallon's like, hey, buddy. And I fucking hate Jimmy Fallon. I've always hated Jimmy Fallon. I think he's the littlest little weasel of all late night show guys. Corden was up there with him, but he's just, I hate him on SNL. He's the skit ruiner with his little giggles and stuff, but he's just a poser like no one's business. He's everybody's fun, good guy, but he's a sellout asshole. Anyway, that's my rant on Jimmy Fallon and Conor McGregor. Good news for you, Nate, because we need it. Kate Blanchett has co-founded a nonprofit to address consent around AI usage. She's a real one. And so there's like other people that have, I think, been in support of this or part of the company, like Javier Bardem and stuff, names have popped up. But according to a Variety article, they say that RSL is, it's called RSL Human Consent Standard, is a free public registry already launched this last month, that allows anyone to declare their AI permissions. The company was built around the idea that consent must come first. AI systems are using human expression, creative work, and human likeness without consent. RSL Media addresses this problem by turning human consent into a signal that machines can read. So, trying to start.
Hopefully it catches. Yeah.
Yeah. And last piece of news, Nate, do you want to feel old? Pan's Labyrinth is 20 years old and is heading back to the theater for its anniversary.
Pan's Labyrinth.
Yep. Oh my God, you've never seen it? Guillermo del Toro.
How'd you know what I was going to say?
Guys, we need like a siren that goes off every time Nate looks at me blankly about a movie I reference. Pan's Labyrinth, I think we're going to have to add it to the list.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do what all the smart podcasters do, and we'll review it as it's coming back out to theater, so it's back in like the media. Unless it's happening this month, then we're screwed. But
do we get it set up to where we just have it like we watched it and it's people can go see it in theaters right as our review is coming out, or we just see it as it's coming out and then it's out 2 weeks late for all of our grades?
Oh, so you want to see it in the theater? You're saying?
No, I'm just asking timeline.
I don't know. Listeners, chime in. Psych, you'll never chime in. Great, we'll take this conversation off the air because I need to find out when it actually releases. I don't know. Yeah. But guys, we're going to review it no matter what. Now it's going on the list. I just jinxed myself. I'm going to die soon. Okay, so if I say we'll review it soon, I'm dead. I'll never be able to do that. So we may or may not ever review this, but our best foot forward, we'll try to review it. Okay, great. That's my OCD. We'll move on to the next one. we promise to try to review it. All right. Nate, do you know what's up next?
Is it Ins and Outs?
You know it. Oh my God. You know, I saw the shimmer in your eyes as you said it. You looked around the room like you're expecting like confetti to fall. Yes, it is the Ins and Outs. He's looking around. There is confetti, ghost plasm, I think. All right. What is in is a TikTok account called the Gold Crown Brothers, all one word. And they're just quick little music video parodies that use the lyrics of older, like oftentimes popular songs that are creepy as fuck. Like, hey, little daughter, where you... Like, this kind of stuff. And they all wear wigs and sing to the camera and, like, make a lot of eye contact and play it serious. And so there's, like, songs from Bruce Springsteen, The Police, Neil Diamond, all that. And it's... You guys, you'll have a good laugh at it. They're pretty funny. They do other skits, but those crack me up every time. So do that. What is out is a big one for me. Because what is out, according to the streamers, was one of my recommendations in the past, and that is Ponies. Ponies was canceled after its first season. The motherfuckers canceled it. It's such a good show. It's got Vic Michaelis and everybody in there. Like it's so good, so and I hope somebody can pick it up and continue. So
it's not necessarily out. It's just canceled.
Yep, Peacock.
You want it to be in. It's not like a bad out. It's just a sad
Well,
out.
what's out is that they're canceling shows that never get a chance to like find their footing.
Okay.
But even though I think it already found its footing, right? Like I think it's a solid first outing. Nothing was like off or anything. It was like great, and they led it to season 2.
Yeah, it's always... It just sucks because it's like, oh, we'll sign it on for like one season, and that's all it ever gets. It's not enough nowadays. You got to have at least a good 2 seasons. 3 seasons maybe to see where it's going to go. And especially with shows where they're only 12, 13 episodes nowadays instead of the standard that was always like 22 episodes.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. And I mean, to your point, like think about any show that is probably popular as hell, like is in like the pantheon of great TV shows. If they had their first season air on streamers, they probably never would have gotten a season 2.
Yeah.
Like Seinfeld or something like that like stood the test of time. So probably wasn't the first stuff is not that great. Season 1 of The American Office was trash, and everybody agrees. Yep. What if that started on streaming? You never would have had The Office, which is everybody's comfort show and whatever. It's just
yeah. But then you have shows like CSI, all the spin-offs that are out there, NCIS.
Yep.
How many of those shows exist? That's the same shit vomited out.
Yes, recycled plots and shit. Yep, tons. It's just, it sucks. But anyway, that's Ins and Outs.
All right, nice. Well, that takes us into the movie now, right?
It sure does.
Oh my gosh,
we're changing shape. We're changing shape to go into our next segment. Get it?
You're really trying to segue into the movie, which is 2001 Evolution.
It is. This is the story of 2 college professors that team up with a firefighting cadet and a government scientist to combat an alien organism that has been rapidly evolving since its arrival on Earth inside of a meteor. Nate, what is your history with this movie?
History of this movie is, these are one of those movies you have to just shut off your brain and you watch it for, it's a movie.
Yeah, okay.
That's all you can do with this movie.
You're right.
You look at it, it made me think of like, when you go into a movie, your mindset matters so much. And if you're going into like with an analytical, I'm going to look at this movie and maybe I'll discover like a new evolution. No, you can't. You have to completely devolve yourself and watch this movie just for a popcorn flick.
Devolve yourself. Whoa, he's throwing in all these terms here. Okay. I like your last thing. It is a popcorn flick. It is not. I think it wanted to be like an Armageddon or Independence Day. I think it really had, it feels like the vibes in there, it wanted to be like a cool, big set piece movie.
I think it was more based off of the director, where he wanted to make his next Ghostbusters.
Spoiler alert, spoiler alert. This movie was directed by who, Nathaniel?
Ivan Reitman.
You know it. And before this, he directed Junior, Kindergarten Cop, Twins, Meatballs, Stripes, and of course, like Nate said, Ghostbusters 1 and 2, which all share, those last ones share a very similar theme. It does feel like a next, like the Ghostbusters, the next generation. Although looking at the first few titles, how great would it have been if Arnold Schwarzenegger was in this movie? I think it would have been so good.
Now, who would he have been in this movie?
I like that. Like
you want to see him as a scientist?
Yes. Have you seen Junior? Because when he plays like fish out of water, and then, honestly, the two people. So David Duchovny is in here, and Orlando Jones is in here, like as the professors. We'll get to the cast in a second, but they are kind of like dumbasses yet kind of smart. So I think he could easily just play like a fish out of water. Like neither one of them proved to be smart. They just kind of proved to be lucky. Sometimes they proved to be completely dumb and not situationally aware, let's say. Yeah. And so I think Schwarzenegger could pop in as just like a professor to one of them. I don't care. Swap one of them out. I don't care. And then put them in there. Like I think it would just, he would add some, I don't know. The movie would probably feel a little bit different, but I think it would be fun to have him in there. Or
I guess maybe if he was in there, you wouldn't go into this movie thinking like, oh, I need to be serious about this. If you see Arnold Schwarzenegger as a scientist, professor at a college.
What if he played the firefighter as like a shitty firefighter, but it's funny because he's like built and bulked to shit, so he's actually not fit for that job as much as he should be. But anyway, that's just okay. We'll get back to the written by and cast here. Nate, you want to run through them?
Yeah. So written by is Don Jacoby. We got David Diamond and David Weissman.
Mm-hmm. Don't know any
of those people. A lot of
people.
D names.
D's, triple D.
Cast, we'll stick with the D's. David Duchovny as...
Wait. We talked about David Duchovny on a previous episode when I was talking about X-Files at Fan Expo, and I was like, will he remember how to pronounce it in this one? He did not. I was waiting for this Moni. Okay. Duchovny, yes.
This Moni?
Because here I know you got...
now screaming Moni.
Sometimes the happiest accidents come when you're trying to make fun of somebody.
Yeah, so he plays Dr. Ira Kane. Mm-hmm. We got Orlando Jones as Harry Block.
Yep.
Seann William Scott as Wayne Gray. Julianne Moore as Allison Reed. Ted Levine as General Russell Woodman. Ty Burrell as Colonel Fleming. Dan Aykroyd as the governor. And then plus many others not so famous then, but now fairly famous people like Kyle Gass and Sarah Silverman.
Could you tell Nate was reading my notes?
I would be a horrible person for a teleprompt. Could you imagine how bad that would be?
He will read anything. I should dump in something completely wrong and just watch you read it out. That's a dangerous thing to let me have power of. And go fuck yourself. Yeah. So that it's a pretty big cast actually. I did not know Julianne Moore was in this. Love her. Ty Burrell before he became the father on Modern Family and became famous off of that show. Dan Aykroyd, of course, is the Ghostbusters tie-in, and then Kyle Gass from Tenacious D, and of course Sarah Silverman. But yeah,
what are your thoughts on this movie? You got my thoughts a bit about it.
Before we jump into the plot, let's say I did have fun with this movie because it was just a popcorn flick. I will say half the time I went, you're fucking kidding me? And my eyes rolled out the back of my head, out the door, and then they got themselves ran over by a truck just for fun. It's a real mixed bag, but it's always moving. It's always something stupid and happening. I'll tell you that much. Like, you're just like, what are they doing? No one makes real decisions in this movie. The accidents, the coincidences. Like, I was like, it's bizarre. It is a bizarre movie. But then when I was talking to my brother, because he called me during it and I paused and he's like, oh, that's one of Mom's favorite movies. And I was like, that makes sense. She loves movies like this that are just like fun and logic doesn't hold up, but you're just enjoying the actors just kind of playing in that set.
And I think what's great, though, like you were saying, how it just continues rolling on to the next thing. I think that's what allows it to keep its legs going, is it's just like, we're not going to spend too long on this. We're just going to keep moving to the next plot point, and that's it.
Yeah, it definitely like grew its legs to do that through the movie kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's an evolution joke.
Sorry, do you want me to laugh more at that?
I'm gonna evolve my foot up your ass, all right? It's going right up there. Your ass is gonna grow my foot because it's hitting there so many times. But yeah, so I mean, that my experience is the first time I ever saw it was just I think yesterday. But yeah, it's a popcorn flick. What do you want from me? I'm not gonna. As I was going through, I was like, I can't judge this as seriously as I would judge other movies that take themselves seriously, because they're truly trying to make a comedy, and some of it really works, some of it doesn't. But there's some there's some fun stuff in here for sure. So
yeah,
should we get to it?
So yeah, we start off with just pretty much a meteor that's flying through the Earth, or not Earth, flying through space, and crashes down on a small shack or whatever. And before it crashes down on that shack, we get introduced to Seann William Scott's character, where he's trying to prep himself for the fire test. Yeah. And he has a blow-up doll dummy that he throws into the shack and sets ablaze and goes in to save him.
Yeah, this is Stifler, okay? This is like right before or during when American Pie 2 was releasing. So he was in peak Stifler form here, and they went, why would we have you play anything else? So I just kept calling him Stifler because I was like, that makes it feel better to me if this dude is just kind of just a fucking dumbass, which I think the movie's supposed to make him that, obviously.
Alternate universe Stifler tries to become a firefighter.
Yeah, this is like a summer they didn't hang out before they didn't go to the beach, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so like, you're like, oh, what's he going to do? What's he doing with this? You think he's going to like go have sex with it in a shack. It's just very weird. He just pulls up in a normal car. He does have the gear on, or like just some of it. And then it's like the worst like save victim thing he could ever do, because it's a small shack. So he just kicks the door and drags her out. And I'm like, what does that help you teach? Like, you need like a full blown like upstairs, downstairs. You need smoke. You need the mask, the tank, everything. But he's kind of an idiot, right? So you're just like, he just goes out there and practices at this shack that looks like it's been burnt quite a few times by him.
Yep. And as that's happening, the meteor crashes down and just like throws his car, 60 feet in the air, flips, and somehow after it getting thrown around, still runs, just looks crushed to shit. And that's where you have to understand this is the popcorn flick.
Yeah, the logic is thrown out. I did appreciate him running from the fire, because it seemed like a real practical, like they blew something up behind this person. Sometimes it looks like Seann William Scott running. Sometimes, I mean, I didn't pause to like zoom in to see if it really was him the whole time, but it's pretty good. It looks good. The whole run and jump from it. Like I think they put the budget into this movie, like the CGI and stuff. They used a budget for this. This was not some like, I don't know, indie project. So I was happy to see that it's got the money behind it.
Yeah, that's one I was very surprised about. I was like, watching it, the CGI, the effects, I'm like, this is actually good for its time. For 2001, like, I'm not watching like, oh, this looks like shit. It's like, okay, no, this is passable. This is good.
Yeah, you can see like the seams on some of it, but you're like, but your brain already goes, well, this was 2001. Like, it's getting a lot of, never forget, by the way, 2001. But like, it's got good CGI, and like, even though you're like, well, that's CGI, clearly, doesn't take you out like even some of the modern movies do, where you go, well, that's obviously not in the scene with you. So they do a good blend of like practical and CGI together.
Yep. So from there, it goes to the next morning with the professors, Ira Kane and Harry Block, where they go to investigate the crash site. They go there and run into two cops. And this is where the meteor made penetration.
Nathaniel, you knew what you were doing with that. You knew what you were doing. You didn't need to say that. You didn't need to use that word.
That's what they say in the movie.
The crash site. Oh boy. Did they say it? Well, speaking of penetration, before we even get to the crash site. There is some creepy professor stuff going on in this movie. They are not professional at all, but like it starts by Harry Block, or it really starts. So we'll go back and forth here. So Harry Block is introduced as being hit on by one of his students when he leaves his office. It's like this hot blonde, and she's like, oh, I want to go to nursing school, but she really wants to be Miss Arizona. So can you give me an A, basically? And basically, I'll do anything. I will sleep with you. He knows what's up. She knows what's up. He's not really saying no to it. He's kind of fidgety around it, but it almost seems like more because he's surprised that he's getting this opportunity. Because then even Ira walks in, David Duchovny's character, and is like, oh, what does he say? Ready for lunch? Or have you already eaten? To her face, no less. And they just kind of laugh or kind of whatever, and that moves on. And he kind of like points it's insane.
The worst plot in the movie is that part there of Harry Block just being like gawking at the younger kids.
Like his students. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, yes, they're in college. They're over 18, but still, it's
the professor.
It's not a good look at all.
No, and it's crazy that they just pointed out and they embraced it as a plot line. Like this wasn't like you read into it. They made sure that was the plot line.
Because skipping a little ahead, there's a point where he's a volleyball coach and Seann William Scott is asking him like, oh, so you sit there and you do volleyball with them, and then afterwards they go in the showers and all that. He's like, yeah, I go in the shower sometimes with him and shower and all that. And it's just like,
and you're like, really?
Not good.
He doesn't even say it like it's a joke. Like he says it like straight face. Like I don't even know if the actors know what the joke was supposed to be versus when they're not supposed to be joking. Like it seems like the script got changed and they're just saying these things that are like weirdly dark, but they don't seem to understand it.
Yeah, it's a joke that doesn't land, but also just definitely doesn't hold the test of time.
But anyway, then we, if we jump back half a second, so we're introduced to Ira because he's teaching, this is David Duchovny, he's teaching the class where you have the two like brothers with like the frosted tips in his school. Like, and he's teaching them at a college level, like the periodic table, I think. He's like, let's get back to the periodic table. And I was like, okay, smoking gun, A, but B, what level is this? Is this like you're popping in from middle school, high school to like take a class? Because there's no way. It seems like they were in the middle of the semester and he's like, let's learn about the periodic table.
Yeah. It was just anything with the schooling in this was just like we think this is what's going to happen in schooling. And it's not accurate whatsoever.
No. But we quickly move on. Like you said, they get to the place where it to use your words, penetrated the ground. And this is where I was like, do none of these guys own masks or gloves or do they have any care for scientific protection or integrity?
This is a different time, Todd.
Oh, no.
This is a different time, okay?
No, he's one of them. Nate's starting his own podcast on the side. It was a different time.
It's a popcorn flick. You just have to accept it.
I know. Okay. Well, we'll get into that a little bit more as they get more egregious with their lack of protection in these environments. But yeah, they get like alerted to it. And they never really explain like how Harry gets alerted to it. Orlando Jones gets a phone call, but like, great, they go there. And then they find basically the meteor, but they like want to scrape some of it off. And it's bleeding, which doesn't throw them off. And again, they don't like run. If a meteor started bleeding and it wasn't supposed to, right? I'm not breathing in that air anymore.
But that's you. These people are more curious and they're scientists, right? So they want to know what the fuck's happening.
They had a toolbox and a dream is what's happening here.
You're the precautious type that like, I'm not even getting into that fucking meteor hole. I am just going away.
But the thing is, like, I wouldn't be scared of a normal meteor crash because that's kind of fun and those happen, right? But this thing, once they start scraping it, they're all, it's bleeding. And you're like, get the fuck away from that thing then. This is not supposed to happen. This is new.
But I think it's more of just the scientists of like, what's happening? Why is it happening? They got to look at it and inspect, is this something that would be normal or is it something that we can recognize? I think it's just more of the questions rather than get the fuck away.
Okay, so it's curiosity killed the cat.
Exactly.
Okay. I mean, Do you give a pass to the dumb local cop trope where they're just like dumb as shit when they're talking to them, and they're like, which I kind of do at this point in the timeline of the real world. But when they're listening, like they basically keep going like, we have to do this for your research. And he's like, all right, go. And then even when he's like, no, not this time, because they keep meeting the same cop. And they're like, you're not going to fool me this time. Like, we really need to. He's like, okay, fine. They keep just like tricking him because he's an idiot. I don't know. That was a little through line that I kind of, I appreciated it a little bit just for, the comedic effect.
Yeah. Yeah. So they bring back the piece of rock and all that and the blood back to the school.
Yeah, and this is kind of where Ira shows his occasional genius, and he's looking through it, and he's like, it's a single cell organism, but it keeps multiplying on his like slide underneath the microscope, and it breaks, and he's just kind of like, huh. I was like, dude, no. I know we're breaking. I know this is the movie. I have to turn my brain off. But my God, an alien organism just broke the glass right below your hand. And you're like, well, that's weird. I'd be like, holy shit, everybody's dead. This is crazy. Like, I think even normally you'd freak the fuck out if that happened. But
yeah, I think it's also a testament of where he came from in the story, because he did get screwed out of the military because of the shit that he pulled. And so maybe it's just him being like, yeah, this is my way back in. This is how I get out of this college and go back to being, a scientist that I wanted to be.
Okay. I'm gonna ride the Nate train here, all right?
Choo choo.
Choo choo. I'm all aboard.
So yeah, pretty much they go back with the class, and they realize that the meteor has evolved so much so quick to where it's like its own atmosphere, and they are stepping through fog, and they find that there's flatworms through the fog. So they pick it up, and it dies in our oxygen very quickly, realizing that it needs to be in its own atmosphere to survive. And this is where I thought it was a weird line of, hey, go ahead and get one of those worms and scoop up some of the atmosphere while you're doing it at the same time.
Well, they did, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. But it's just a weird line to me of like, just scoop up some of the atmosphere while you're getting that worm.
Basically the fog. Yeah. Well, you just covered a lot of things right in a row there. So yeah, they when they show up, like the cops, like, they bring a school bus, right, and a winch. They bring a whole thing. Everybody's just like, da-da-da. It's like, of course, they've got a winch, guys. But anyway, they're not going to be able to take it because there's too many people there. But yeah, when they walk down, I was like, is that fog? I was like, that's crazy. But they're walking through it, and you're like, guys, this is an alien site that you already know about. Like, it's been confirmed that this thing is an organism that's multiplying by Ira. And he's like, yeah, kids, come walk through all this fog. And so the chick that you would think would freak out and run, she kind of goes, I think something's moving under my feet. And you're like, dude, you would be freaking the fuck out if you could not see an alien form touching your feet. But she kind of like, she's like, ew, gross. And they're like, yeah, these like weird flatworms, which I think are real, like types of evolutionary pieces in the puzzle. I'll have to look into that. Which, spoiler alert, I don't. Guys, that's a tease / not tease for next episode. But yeah, so they do. I do like when they're like, let's grab the atmosphere, whatever. As if you just scoop up the fog and put it into the jar, right? It's good. That one I didn't even really question, Nate. So here I am, like giving it all this criticism. That one I'm like, yeah, they would they take the atmosphere and put it into a jar.
Todd's like, yeah, I captured a fart in a jar once. It works.
I leave them around Nate's house. So every time he goes to open a jar to like clean, he's like, oh my God. But then we also get like, so it's not just that it's multiplying. They realize that it went from a single cell organism to a multi-cell organism, which means it's evolving. And this is obviously what the namesake of the movie is. This thing is growing. It's getting more arms. It's getting bigger. And you're like, oh crap. And they're like, well, this thing evolved in like a day that would have took, I don't know, 200 years or a million years or some shit, whatever it was. And now this is like, they go back in again, no gloves or anything. That's fine. But they get it. They go back. And this is kind of where we get introduced to the military side of things. Because if you're going to have an alien life form, you're going to have the military.
Yeah. So they show up, it's all blocked off. And they go in, they introduce, hey, I'm Ira Kane, this is our site. And this is where one of the soldiers freak out because he's like, oh, you're the Ira Kane? And we don't know why they're freaking out. They pull a gun on him, they pull off the soldier, and then they get to continue on into the base with the general.
Which is, a soldier pulled a gun on a visitor and they just hand wave, they shrug it off. They're just like, oh, that's not a big deal. The guy like asking the questions like, you can go on in towards the guy that tried to pull a gun on you.
Yeah.
That guy should have been court-martialed. There should have been a lockdown. I was like, oh my God, this movie has so many shrugs. But yeah, then you meet the brigadier general, whatever, the military guy. And you also, like, they have a history because we find out Ira used to work for the military. We don't know why. We will soon. We don't know why he got kicked out or whatever or left. And then this is where Julianne Moore shows up, and she's a bumbling kind of goofy lady.
Yeah,
character.
Just a complete klutz.
Which,
anytime she could trip and fall, she trips and falls, dropping things.
Yeah, which doesn't add anything to the story. And then it turns out that Julianne Moore added that quirk to her character, according to the IMDb trivia. But I was like, it doesn't add anything. She doesn't use it. It doesn't come back around. It's not like, it doesn't like humanize her or anything. Like, it's just weird. It's just like a thing they do. I don't know. It would have been better if they had like turned that into some sort of plot later on or something that she's fucking up all the time.
Like one of the aliens were going to go like decapitate her, but she trips and falls instead and they miss.
Yeah, anything to do a callback.
Yeah. So yeah, as that happens, they end up leaving because they're not agreeing or whatever with the terms with the army.
Yep.
And they go back to their school where they find out eventually that the army has taken all their research, taken all of their belongings that was dealing with the meteor.
I don't know, that they say later, they're like, did you do this? And even Julianne Moore's character is like, no, we didn't do that. I don't know if she's being naive or truthful, because it has to have been the military that stole everything, because they end up getting it back. But it's like a weird thing they don't like confirm, except for when they get back into the base. But yeah, they ransack everything. And not to go back one half step, but what do you think about them constantly doing the Julianne Moore's hitting on you, Ira, to David Duchovny? She falls over in front of the general and all them when they meet, and like you see her like garter belt or something like that, and he says it like right to her. He's like, "Oh, look at that," and she's like, "Ah," and they're like, "Yeah, she's into you, she's into," and like she's immediately, they're talking about like basically seeing her ass or like her lingerie, and I was like, "God damn, movie, keep it in your pants." But like it starts a love story immediately. You already know Ira and Allison are going to be together. Like that's just what it is. There's no build up. They need like an extra hour of this movie to really see that one through.
It's a very forced love.
Oh, very. It evolved very quickly.
Yeah, it did. You done?
No. And then meanwhile, we do see Stifler doing his like service job because he didn't pass the firefighter's test because he was tired from, or late and everything from the explosion the night before. And he's got a douchebag customer, but he's going through and he's like taking towels from the pool, and he looks into like the back room and he sees, I don't know, Chihuahua-sized monsters swimming in the water, and shrugs and walks it away. That's kind of like, oh, that's weird. What is it? Come on, man. If that thing's in your water, you tell somebody.
He doesn't give a shit about his boss or what they're doing. He just wants to get the pay and get out of there.
Yeah. But this does now...
Your logic is, oh man, everything's fucked. I got to be worried about this. Some people are just like, no, I'm not going to worry about this. This is not my place at work. This is not my responsibility. Fuck this. I'm out.
There's a difference between like, oh, I forgot to shut off the lights or sweep the floor at night, to there's a literal monster in the water supply. That's such a big difference.
We don't know all the water species out there, you know? It could be some weird thing.
There's not even supposed to be a goldfish in there. But before they clear out the office, we find out what Ira got kicked out of the military for. And Nate, I think you might be suffering from a bit of the Kane madness.
Oh, yeah? What's all the symptoms?
I did not write them down, but he did list quite a bit. Oh.
Yeah, it's like diarrhea, forgetfulness.
Cha-cha-cha.
Pepto-Bismol, fix it. We got it.
It was a laundry list of things. So he was like basically creating, it was like an anti-anthrax kind of like thing, right? But it was giving soldiers horrible side effects, like just a ton of them. And they called it the Cane Madness. But he's like, did anybody even get anthrax? No. He's like, I technically succeeded.
Yeah. So it's weird because also like during that whole court scene, it's them versus the government of like, hey, we were there first. We want to just be there to help discover this. And that's all it is. They're not asking like, we want full control. We just want help. And the general at one point is like, oh, this college is a joke and it's shit facilities and all that. And the judge is like, well, it wasn't shit when I went there. You would think the judge might be like, you know what? I'm going to let these people in. As long as the government is the ones overseeing it, they can at least be there. But he's like, no, you guys are out.
Yeah, it's weird. You get that I'm an alumni moment. And you're like, good, he's on our side. And no, he's not. But we also, Julianne Moore is the one that deposes Duchovny on the stand.
Yep.
And Orlando Jones says that's her flirting. And apparently must have been, but that's like, everything's her flirting with him. Everything is her flirting with him. And none of that deposition showed any of that, but they are really being like, yes, they are going to end up together movie. God damn it. But then we kind of go back. So they infiltrate the base, which is some funny hijinks. This is the hijinks portion of the movie where they dress up like a soldier, like a captain and a regular soldier. And then the guards like just kind of let him through. It's kind of weird, but like I can see them letting through Ira because he's dressed like a captain. Orlando Jones is just dressed in one of the other soldiers like camouflage fatigues, and he even says like, tuck that shirt, and they're like, yes sir. And I was like, in what fucking world are you responding to another soldier like that? But I'm not gonna hang my hat on this, Nate. I'm not gonna hold this movie back because of that oversight. Okay.
All right.
But why did they get caught, Nate? Why the hell do they get caught in this secret mission?
Because they want to go get a sample. So they go down into the atmosphere of the meteor.
Yeah.
And this is where Orlando Jones' character is talking about Allison Reed again. About how they're going to get together.
And he's dancing and thrust in. And like that's how they pick up that these guys aren't supposed to be here.
Yep. And so eventually the government goes down. They're all in like these suits that are airtight. And as this is whole like debacle is happening, a alien mosquito cuts into Orlando Jones's suit and finds its way into the suit.
Yeah. And so Nate, first off, we get introduced to a lot of the alien life in here, like a lot all of a sudden. And I mean, they're creepy as fuck. Some of them are large as fuck. Are you walking around in this place, Nate? The minute you see the first like spider-like creatures, are you getting the fuck out? Like you in the real world, Nate. I'm not talking movie popcorn flick logic. You seeing those creepy ass things and sticking around?
If I'm a scientist, yes.
The fuck you are.
You just
don't have a gun?
How the fuck do you think scientists discover shit? You just think like, I'm out, get away. That's icky. That's scary.
Guys, watch this movie and tell me those are normal bugs that scientists just walk around with. One of them is like the size of a freaking Rottweiler and gets eaten by a thing from the ceiling. And they just kind of look at it and keep walking. They could easily be eaten by the thing in the ceiling. This is like alien Earth level shit. And you would not walk around in those environments if you knew it was an alien movie.
You really think like scientists just live under a goddamn rock and like, I don't want to discover shit?
In this case, yes. If you're not going into a cave.
You're wrong. Normally you tell me I'm wrong. You're wrong in this one.
I am right, audience. Back right in, back up. Back me up. So they're in an enclosed cave. They're in a cave where alien life has been proven to exist, and it is evolving millions of years ahead of time to eat each other. There's tons of them. They're like these spider things that go devour one of them, they crush. And you're just like, yeah, I'm just going to walk through there without a gun or like even like a protective like shield or some sort of group with you. Nothing.
I just want to discover shit.
Oh
Allow it.
This is why Nate wouldn't evolve if he was in this movie. He would have been dead immediately. I would be evolving.
No, because obviously they go in, they don't give two shits, they never die.
He gets the mosquito alien up his butthole. Spoiler alert.
Yep, we're getting there. Yeah, so the mosquito goes up his butthole while it's in the suit, and they have to rush him into like a quick ER area where they have to figure out how to get it out.
It's like you see it crawling up through his body like the scarabs in like the Mummy movie.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. And it's in his leg to where they're like, oh, we're going to have to amputate the leg. They're like, no, he thinks he's an athlete. He doesn't argue that whatsoever.
Is there anything you can do? He thinks he's an athlete. And Duchovny delivers that so dryly. It's great.
And then finally it starts going up towards the testicles. And they're like, oh, it's going up towards his testicles. And he's like, nope, take the leg. Fuck it. Take the leg.
Yeah. Cut it off. He doesn't give a shit anymore. It's a fun scene where they're like, Duchovny and Julianne Moore are holding him down as they get the giant, basically tongs out, right?
Like
the forceps or whatever.
Yeah.
And they go in and drag it. Somehow, movie magic, but they drag this thing out of his asshole, which is great. And then it dies in the air. That's what we forgot to even harp on, is that these things can't survive in our air. That's why they take some of the fog, kind of whatever.
I mentioned that with the flatworm when they moved it out of the atmosphere.
But we didn't talk about it more. It was a throwaway line. But that's the whole thing of the movie, is that they're not growing big because they can't evolve once they get into the real world. So they're like safe for a little bit. That's why they're kind of confined to that cave, as far as they know.
Yeah.
And then they evolve, Nate. But, they don't like do any tests. If I was Orlando Jones, I'd be like, give me every test you've ever given anybody in your life, because I don't know what this thing left in my system after like the mosquito goes into my butthole.
Yeah. So after that, pretty much you get Seann William Scott character meets them back at the college, where he got like a giant alligator alien in a sense that evolved or whatever that killed his boss.
Well, yeah, because this is the scene where I kind of alluded that he has an evil. It's not his. I don't know if it is his boss or just like a rich country club member. I couldn't tell, but either way, he's like I don't know what either way. But this dude is like setting up the golf course to like take his date out there to, I don't know, sleep on the golf course. And this is the if people watch the show 24, this is one of the evil ex-presidents. So if you know that guy, but he gets drug into the water, by like a half croc, half lizard type thing, whatever. And I could tell instantly, and it was confirmed in the fun facts, but they filmed this in December because when they're walking around, their breath is showing up. And I was like, they're like it's like almost like a tiki party that has been happening at this country club. And the date is like in a dress, and she's showing all this skin, and then they're supposed to be pretending like it's warm and just a nice summer night, and they are fucking freezing in the real world. So I was like, that's crazy. Like, they didn't even try to edit out the breath, which I'm surprised by, because there was a lot of it. And you're like, dude, these guys are cold as hell. But anyway, that's meta side of the movie. Yeah, he gets killed, and then they tell Stifler and the group, and they're like, oh, he died, and he's kind of like, oh, that's a shame, like he loves that he got killed. But then off screen, they capture this thing. And he brings it into the university to show the professors what he's found. Yeah.
And this is where, once again, they find, it can't die from, or it just died from the atmosphere, the oxygen. It was gasping for air.
We also get like a side scene where there's like a ladies group at their home at Jill's house. And they hear like a noise in the closet. And this poor lady, Grace, is there. And she's like, they're like, there's something behind the door, and Jill's like, open the door, Grace. And she's like, me? It's your house. And they're like, open the door. So Grace, for some reason, has to I felt so bad for little Grace. But Grace opens the door, and it's a clearly an alien standing there with these big eyes. Yeah. And they're like, what is that, a dog? A rodent? A muskrat? A pig? And they're just like, no, guys. But they don't run. And then, of course, she tries to like pet it because they think it looks sad. And then it bites her with like this dark crystal-esque bird that comes out of its mouth. And I don't know. I just was curious. Do you think Grace mutates? Because she legit got bit by an alien species. That DNA is now in her DNA.
No, it's just she gets an infection and dies.
Oh, wow. Yours is much sadder. Yours doesn't lead up for a sequel.
Sorry. Okay, well, what were you expecting, huh? What is she mutating then? What's she mutating into?
Anything she could evolve to have more than one arm. Oh, I guess she has more than one arm. More than two arms. Multiple legs. What if Grace becomes a super killer and gets to take revenge on Jill for making her be her little bitch at her house? I think that would be
That's
good.
the side movie that we're all interested in. So either way, they overhear this call go through as they're at the diner because, of course, right next to their booth is the cop that the professors always run into. And Seann William Scott is there with him where he hears the code and he's like, oh, that's a domestic, like, animal attack. And he's like, something about this just seems weird. We should go check it out.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because at Jill's place, this is where Stifler basically finds the prehistoric pterodactyl dragon type beast outside, all dead.
Yeah, because they
now,
go to
Nate,
the house.
Are you walking through that field?
I mean, if they're all dead.
Oh, God. One of them wasn't. Okay. And then it would have terrorized them all.
No, yeah, one of them wasn't. And this is where, like, the movie gets way out of hand because now that, like, there's the attack at Jill's house and everything, there was the golf course incident, like, there should be more word spread at this point, not just like it's very contained. And then the pterodactyl thing at the mall was another thing that just is like, okay, this is out there. This is bigger than what we expected.
It was already, like we said, it does run. It just keep moving. This was where it really starts to like sprint. So yeah, at Jill's house, they see the pterodactyl, they walk through one. It gives birth in our atmosphere. And so I think that's how they get away from it. It's like now the baby is adjusted to our atmosphere. That's trouble. And so it flies away. And then this is where I felt like they wanted to be almost like an Independence Day or Armageddon movie because it's like the three unlikely heroes go to like save the day and they get their shotguns from the mall out of the whatever, the hunting store or whatever. And the chick in the dressing room is an insane plot line. It doesn't want to kill her. It just wants to fly around with her, I guess. I don't know. I'm not quite sure.
It's a weird, whatever that is. The movie I want to see more of is the lady buying clothes for the guy for Thanksgiving. You know, that's the movie I want to see more of.
Oh, is that the couple that walks by in the background?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did catch that line. I did think about that too. I was like, oh, what's their story? That would be like I'm Home for the Holidays type, like Hallmark movie or something on the side that's going on.
Yeah. But yeah, it's where the whole Seann William Scott does the caca.
Yes.
Caca. And tries to call the pterodactyl thing with a bird call. And then that doesn't work. So he starts singing in the mic. And both Orlando and David's character is like, all right, I'm going to shoot this guy. This is getting annoying. And it actually responds to him singing the song.
Yeah, his like stupid thing where they're like, dude, what are you doing? Stop. Turns into like, oh, actually keep going. It's listening to you. And I was like, okay, that's fine. Like because this beast is just like making laps through the biggest mall in the entire world. But it's just flying with this chick. And yeah, they like Orlando Jones does a sick like jump and saves her move when it flies through. And then Duchovny shotguns its ass. And it hits like it just falls down. And so like they're making jokes at its body. And then it like pops up and they all three of them shoot it at once. And then like the music soars and they cock the shotguns with one hand and put them over their shoulders. Like it's all coordinated. It was this is where it goes off the rails even for a movie like this. But it was the one line that stuck out to me where I was like, this feels like a reshoot or they added it in was the lady that got pulled from the dressing room. She's like, I swear, I'm never going to steal again. As if this was part of the mall's security system. Like,
we got you. All right, bring out the cameras.
Yeah, right. But, and then, I mean, this is kind of all where we get also that the cave system is where these animals or these aliens are growing. So to remove the threat, you have to remove the cave system at its its core.
Where Orlando's character, being a geologist, really shines, and he's like, oh yeah, over here is this tunnel system, there's that tunnel system, it all connects to where the meteor originated.
And they go to tell the military, who's always receptive to feedback.
Yeah. Yeah, they go in, they're like, hey, this has got to stop, this is getting out of hand, it's growing, you guys need to shut this shit down. Military's like, no, it's fine, we have it under control. And this is where they hear like a banging noise coming from the lift and the lift starts going on its own. So they're like, oh shit, they're coming up, the aliens. They go over there to stop the aliens from coming up the lift, but the aliens come out the giant hole that's covered up in the center and start attacking them.
Yeah, so I mean, this is where in the like the Situation Room, you've got Dan Aykroyd finally shows up, and he's the governor of Arizona. And the governor apparently in this world has so much power. He's telling the military what to do, and they are just yes-sirring, all day long, giving up seats for him, like they're cowtailing to him real big. But like this is Dan Aykroyd does have presence in a movie, so I was kind of happy to see him show up too. Like he's just kind of he's always a character, even when he's not trying to be, I think. But he gets in there and this Julianne Moore and them are talking about like how it's expanding and how it's going to take over the United States. And she's like, in 2 months, the United States officially belongs to them and we are extinct. I was like, that's debatable. They can kill these things with bullets, apparently. But I know I think to her point, it does get to an evolution point where it's unstoppable. But yeah, so the set has been staged. I'm just going to keep that line. But like when they show up, when the military is talking to Dan Aykroyd, when our proverbial new class Ghostbusters all show up, Wayne Gray says like they're introducing all their credentials, and he's like, Wayne Gray took some chemistry in high school. And he does that kind of like Stifler smirk if no one like cares, and he's like, oh, okay. Yeah, I thought that was a really good moment for that character. Yeah. And then this is when they see on the screens, right? You said like they start hearing the noise because they look at the screens and it's like ape men. Like they fully evolved, like ape men, creepy looking practical effects suit ape men with like bones in their hands or whatever. And they are already aware of technology. They know what the cameras are. They know how to fake, spoiler at the elevator system. They fuck with the power. And they know everything. They're setting up traps. So yes, I think Julianne Moore's right. To the last point, I think, they've evolved so fast that they're uncontainable. But they also jump incredible feats. So they go out there, realize nothing's in the elevator, and then they jump up from behind them. And it's only 2 of them, but they start just like wreaking havoc on them. And I think Wayne shoots one, right?
Yeah, he picks up a gun, shoots one, and kills it, and that's what makes the other one go back into the hole. And it's one of those where they try attacking, like punching them, but they're still like thick armor or whatever you want to call it, that they aren't even phased by it. Yeah,
Duchovny like hurts his hand because it was going to like kill the governor, and then they stop it or something.
Yeah. So this is the fear that it puts into the governor, where the governor's like, all right, that's it. Napalm it. That's it. This is over. We're done with this. We're blowing them all up.
Yep.
And
they're like, you can't work this way. And then this is where Moore joins the team.
Exactly. She's like, I don't want any part of this. I'm out. They go back to the college to where they're trying to figure out, like, what the fuck, how do we destroy these things? Because they don't think napalm is the answer, because there was a point where Orlando's character started smoking and he threw a match and it landed on the petri dish of the meteor blood, and it just expanded like crazy.
This is the scene that baffled me the most out of the entire movie. Because they stole back the petri dish. Julianne Moore like sneaks it out, right? And this is what they were trying to get. That's why they snuck in. And it's just sitting on the counter, and Orlando Jones flicks a fucking match into the petri dish. What are we doing here?
Yeah.
I was like, in a movie that I'm already giving a lot of credit and grace to, what the fuck is that conceit? They could have done anything, but it just goes up. It spreads into a big pink glob. Luckily for them, it worked out, right? But otherwise, he could have just killed their entire experiment, and that's just like, well, why the fuck did you flick it into the open what are we doing, guys? So that's why I was like, they're like smart and dumb all at the same time. It's crazy.
Well, yeah, this is where he discovers, okay, if I look at the back of Julianne Moore's shirt, there's the periodic table, and this is where he discovers, oh, well, we are oxygen-based. We're weak to this. That's down 3 over 1. They're this. If we go down 3 over 1, that's going to be their weakness.
Sure. I just said sure. Yep, that makes sense. Yep. There's a lot of sures that happen here because like when they go to the campus, there's like an Independence Day type end of the world party going on, which is kind of fun. Everybody's like bras around the statues. The 2 Frosted Tip brothers are partying, pouring beer on themselves. And so when they find out that yes, fire makes it expand because of the heat, like when the meteor crashed, it went through the atmosphere and heated up. That's what started the evolution. So any more fires is going to do it again. They figure out that selenium is that thing from the periodic table that will save them, right? and the two brothers walk in and they know where they can get selenium. And that is Head and Shoulders. And how do they know about Head and Shoulders? Because they have flaky free hair. Head and Shoulders played a good penny for this product placement.
Well, that's how they got their A's too, is by, answering that and figuring how to get rid of the aliens.
It's true. He's like, yeah, you guys get A's. And it's like, now we know what to do. And they're like, we're still going to stop them, right? And it's like, yeah. And so then we cut to the next morning. And this is where they force like the last bit of the quote unquote love plot. But she's like, he's like, what are we doing? And she's like, can I say something? He's like, yeah. And she's like, I would have rocked your world. I was like, you've known him for like maybe 24 hours. And then he's like, you already have. And I was like, you did not earn that line. Literally,
but I mean, what a great line, right?
It is a good line.
Just tee it up.
It is a good line. And like, if Ben Affleck was saying that to Liv Tyler in Armageddon, that line works. Okay. But anyway, they basically they fill up a random fire truck with a shit ton of Head and Shoulders.
Yep.
And that's the plan. Let's go shoot that.
Yeah, they go to stop the military. They try calling at first, like, hey, this is where it's kind of also bullshit, is they try to call and say, hey, don't napalm it. It's going to expand and make it a million times worse.
Yeah.
The lady that she gets on the phone with, she could have been like, listen, we know fire is going to be very bad. Just tell him that. Why does she have to tell the governor herself? Just tell her, at least try to spread the word somewhat. But no, they don't do that even.
Nate, just like scientists are curious, officers must obey the rule of command. It is not her privilege to take that information.
Yeah. So
I like how
the
things that I like how the things that I didn't question, you question. The things that you didn't question, I questioned. Because I'm like, oh yeah, that's fine. And you're like, what about this nitpick?
Yep. Listeners, whose side are you on? Todd's or mine?
Todd's.
Or neither, or both.
Yeah, neither is probably the answer.
So yeah, they try to get to the cave and douse the area with Head and Shoulders. It sounds ridiculous.
It is, yeah.
Before the napalm goes off, but as they get there, the napalm starts blowing up, so they have to run out, and it causes pretty much a giant starfish to
it's kind of
form.
Suicide Squad, Starro ending, giant starfish. But this is like a blob starfish. It's like kind of starfishy, but it's more like gross and I don't know, it's more organic looking for sure.
It's a giant thing that he saw in the Petri dish. That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah. They actually sacrifice soldiers where like a bunch of them get smushed. And I was like, oh, finally they're killing people. You could have killed the dressing room lady. But that they smash a shit ton of them because like the army's just like marching up there and some are like still hut like on the street. It's so crazy. They try to flesh out this movie and they're like, these guys are just doing a training right now.
Yeah.
But, it was kind of fun. So they drive. They're like, well, we can run now because now the shit's out of control, or we can continue to do our plan.
Yeah.
And they choose the latter.
Yeah, the latter on the fire truck.
Well played. Well played. Now the audience is on both of our sides, so now they're in for both of us.
So they make their way to the belly of the beast in a sense, and they try to find a good point to attack it. And of course, the movie's already crazy. Why not this sphincter-looking thing?
It has a butthole. It has a butthole. In a creature that shouldn't have a butthole because it doesn't have anything else, it has a butthole.
Yeah. And so they're in against the rush of time because right now it's going through mitosis and it's starting to split into two of them. So if it splits into two, there's no stopping it at that point. So they have to try to get to the one before it splits.
Yeah. So they send that ladder right up into there, and Orlando Jones is the one spraying it. And I mean, it works. And man, they are, and I'm using my notes, Nate, because when this thing starts spewing out all of its stuff, they are drinking the alien blood, shit, piss, whatever is in there. It is falling out of its...
Is it that, or is it just the Head and Shoulders that's also coming out?
It was yellow. It wasn't just the Head and Shoulders coming out. You know it. I know it. And so there, but it's like falling all over us because he gets sucked up into the butthole, and David Duchovny has to pull him back out. And so like it's gross. They're like kissing through it. Spoiler alert! But like it's just in their mouths. It's so gross.
Yeah.
Like what the amount of I want to see the mutation movie, but it's pretty gross. But I do appreciate a good goo falling from the sky after something blew up scene. Some movies are able to pull this off because the stakes warrant that. And yeah, the thing explodes, luckily, right? They do like a wedge out of the closing door kind of moments with the fire truck, and then it rains shit on them everywhere. And that's for sure, Nate, they're drinking in all that stuff as well, to be fair.
Yeah.
But they've won.
So then from there, the governor issues them out all awards.
Yeah. It's very end of Tommy Boy's speech, like when he's doing the Callahan's that, and Callahan, then he's doing like the big thing. It almost feels like that, where he's like giving them all awards, like at the end of Star Wars too, something like that.
Yeah.
Stifler, what does he get? He gets a little
he gets
pass.
to become a firefighter for life or whatever. He just passes.
For life. No, I think he just gets to be a firefighter for life. Multiple serial killer keeps job because governor made a promise. And then Ira and Moore, they are about to get recognized for everything they've always wanted. They just killed this thing. They're on camera. They sneak off during his speech to go fuck in the dirty fire truck.
Now, Todd, what would you do in this situation?
I would say, Julianne Moore, you're a psychopath. We'll do this in an hour. Like, what are we doing here? Okay.
What if it's now or never?
No, I'm not doing it. You know what?
No, it's too late.
I'm drawing the line.
Stated, we know what you're doing.
I was picturing all the monster goo in her face and everything. It was just, at one point, she has to wipe off his lips so she can continue kissing him because it's covered in this yellow slime. I would let that, because then, Aykroyd is like, and then Orlando Jones is like, I keep calling Jooms. Orlando Jones is like, I think he's giving her the Kane madness. And Aykroyd's like, oh, okay, huh? As if he fucking knows what that is, by the way. But and so the movie ends on that as they go to have sex in the fire truck just to the side of the celebration.
Yep.
So it ends as crazy as it started, and then we do
get that little bit after that too,
yes,
where it just goes into a weird Head and Shoulders thing.
Yeah, like a Ghostbusters commercial, but for Head and Shoulders.
Yep.
Yep. And that is the end of Evolution. Nate.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you evolved after seeing that movie? Or did you devolve?
I'm about the same.
Okay. You know, he's not drinking the alien juices.
You know, I watched this movie as a kid, so watching it as a kid, you probably are like, yeah, this is great.
For
so
sure.
It has that more nostalgia.
Yeah, I'm sure I would have loved this movie as a kid. Don't get me wrong. Like that, this movie, again, it's stupid. It makes no sense, but it's fun. It's bright. It's colorful. It's got action. Again, they have good CGI. And again, sometimes, like even when they did the flying dinosaur that they kill, the flying alien that they kill in the mall, they use practical effects when they're setting it down and looking at it. So it's like they put the work into this movie. So I do appreciate the movie of this, like of it just being like a sit back and watch. So yeah. Any other thoughts on the movie before I do some fun facts?
No, go for it.
Okay, this should explain some things. So initially written as a serious science fiction thriller, Ivan Reitman hired David Diamond and David Weissman to rewrite the project as a Ghostbusters-style comedy. The original writer, Dan Jacoby, actually enjoyed the changes so much, this guy's wild, he continued working on the film alongside the other writers. So yeah, can you imagine this as a serious movie? You think then it would have taken more of the Independence Day route?
Yeah, it would have been interesting to see how much it changed if it was more serious tone.
What if we could find the OG script? Yeah.
How many aliens would have actually been involved, or if it was just a few where it was a little more menacing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I bet the cave scenes would have been pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
But so that's what that is. Second fact, we kind of talked about this, shot in December. DreamWorks asked the locals to delay putting up their Christmas decorations. Following the shoot, DreamWorks paid the city employees overtime to light up the town in time for Christmas. So they made it right.
I feel like that's awesome.
Yeah. David Duchovny turned down a role in Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, to appear in this movie. Good move, bad move, Nate. Honestly, just as an actor level, good move, bad move.
I mean, it's hard to say. Like, what role would have been?
I don't know. But any role in a Star Wars is gonna be more memorable in the end game.
Yeah.
Right? This one, Nate. How do you feel about this next one? Michael J. Fox was considered for the role of Wayne, aka Stifler.
You know, I'm glad he wasn't.
Same. I think he deserves better.
Like, I love Michael J. Fox, but this is not the role for him.
No, I think he shouldn't be a side character.
Yeah.
And then finally, at the time the film was made, no Head & Shoulders product contained selenium sulfide, but the company used the film to introduce their selenium product, which was released when the film came out. What a wild tie-in gamble they did with that.
How would you feel, though? Like, you have a chance as a company, like, hey, we need to make a marketing move. All right, this movie's coming out. We're going to put our shit in this movie.
I would definitely do it. It's up to the movie to make sure it makes sense in the movie.
Yeah.
Because there's been some that have done that successfully where they can tie it in. Almost like, think about Twister where they did Pepsi and those cans had to be cut up to use for the Dorothy like things to fly. That's a great tie-in. It makes sense functionally. You'd find them in the real world. This is an insane tie-in because of selenium found on the like they had to work some magic for this one.
Head and Shoulders is like, we're going to give you the budget to have some really good CGI. Okay.
Right. Yeah, honestly, because, I mean, think about it. You can't write the movie around Head and Shoulders having selenium. That had to have come out after the script was written, and they had to rewrite it to fit that in. So that periodic scene is just to justify Head and Shoulders' upcoming product. So that's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the movie, guys.
So yeah, with that, Todd, what's our themes for next week?
I mean, my theme, I feel like Nate this week, and I feel like Nate looks like me this week because I'm going to do Evolution. Wow, I'm doing the name of the of the movie. Nate, what are you doing?
I also am doing Evolution, but I'm doing the Evolution of CGI.
Haha, well, see how I mean? Like, I do like the blank to blank thing, and you do like the straight up answer ones. I think we flipped here. So yes, I'm excited. I'm excited for yours more than I am for mine. I'll tell you that much. All right. But before they get to that, Nate, what can you recommend for them?
In the week leading up to the episode, I hear that it's a box.
That's box
I shouldn't be doing the box. That's I fucked up.
Guys, not the box this week. Tune in next week to find out what the box was.
This week, my recommendation is X-Men 97.
Oh, I actually almost had that in mind. That's great.
Yeah. It's definitely a great watch, and the second season has come out. I've watched one episode so far, and I'm enjoying it just as much as the first season. Awesome. It's just great animation and great storytelling.
Nice. Yeah, I saw that it was coming back out. My recommendation was to like catch up if they hadn't, because I haven't started the new one, but it's out now, like notes app, right? I'm like, oh shit, I gotta watch this because I really did enjoy the first one. So it holds up, huh? That's good.
Yep.
So far, at least for your one episode.
Yeah, for one episode.
Hey, one's all you need. Okay, well, this next one, guys, my recommendation comes from a lot of bullying and peer pressure and just beating down my willpower of playing this thing in front of me at multiple occasions. Union Arena. Nate's eyes are going agog. It feels like selling out saying this, but we did have fun. We played with some friends over the weekend as well. We didn't talk about that, but we did. And I'm finally getting more into the steps of how it works. And it's a card game that I'm going to say, like, Magic players would kill me, but it's like Magic, right? It's a card game where there are properties on the cards, and there's like certain actions you can take, and you're building a deck to play against the other characters, blah, blah, blah. Like, there's a lot of strategy that comes into this, and good, like, in real-time decision-making, which, learning it, I am terrible at doing. But now that we've played a few matches, I feel more comfortable just playing without having somebody like Nate have to be like, no, you can't do that, or why didn't you do that, right? Like, I still get those moments, but it's not every single move I make. But I think it's a fun game, and you could just buy a starter pack and play off of that. Like, you don't have to go in and collect packs or do anything like that unless you're a crazy collector. But yeah, it's like the gateway drug into kind of card games, I think. At least it has been for me. So yeah, Union Arena.
Yeah. Nice. I will agree with that recommendation.
Nate was one of the people selling these drugs to me. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's it, right?
No, Nate, where can they find us?
Oh, that's right.
Wow, you don't want our audience to find us? Wow. Okay, I see how you feel.
They can find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. They can email us at theendofsigh@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
They could send out the carrier pigeon as well. And if you, exactly. If you could rate us and leave a comment, let us know what plot hole you found in the movie. That would be great.
Or yell at Todd because you think it's an amazing movie.
Or that too, yes. Yeah.
Awesome, yeah. Find us there. Do all that good stuff. Otherwise, yeah, tune in next week for the themes.
Yeah, I guess with that, all she needs is a good humpin'. Oh, Ira!
Oh, I'm gonna dance. I'm gonna dance
Ira!
to the elevator to hell right now, and just tell you that it is fucking Candyland.
Oh, Ira!
Yeah, I knew one was coming. All right, bye.
Bye.